Hi, this is my video for Merowitz, and um, it's kind of a bummer that our videos can only be like 5 minutes because I feel like you could talk a lot about Merowitz and his ideas. I'll just kind of introduce them, I guess, more importantly, and I think I liked his ideas a lot because it's something that I've been thinking a lot about lately with social media and how that's changing society and culture and ultimately myself and society. So um, Merowitz kind of through his paper answers two questions. He talks about how changes in media may change social environments and what affects a change in social environments uh, that may have on people's behavior. So what these effects may, how they influence people's behavior. So basically, we start out here reading about Merowitz's trip to Europe and how he was saying that to each audience, to different people that he told about his trip, he would kind of change the events of his trip. You know, teachers, he'd tell the scholastic stuff. His parents, they'd hear the safe, clean version. Friends would hear adventures and love and danger, and that his he kind of took on these different roles. And this author Merowitz was intrigued by two different theorists. One was Goffman, and the other was uh, what was his name? Um, oh man, I can't find it in my notes. I'll look that up. Well, McLuhan. So Goffman presents this idea that people are constantly changing in different costumes and roles, and where he says learning and adhering to a complex matrix of conventional behavior and working hard to maintain their performance in each ongoing situation without undermining or threatening their different behaviors in other social situations. So um, Goffman kind of presents this idea that everything in society during the 60s when Goffman first proposed his idea that everything that was once backstage sex, politicians were showing things that they wouldn't normally show, women weren't bringing men coffee, kind of these attitudes and perceptions of life that were usually kept kind of in this backstage were now being brought forward. And Goffman proposes that behavior changes from place to place, but he didn't really propose how it changed. And Goffman wasn't able, although he could. Merowitz agreed with this idea of things, kind of coming forward and change being made in society. Goffman couldn't answer why things moved forward. So this so Goffman ignored the changes in roles and social order and kind of didn't really analyze how they were made. This McLuhan, on the other hand, he pointed to wide-scale change in social roles that resulted from social media. But yet there was both a flaw. There was a flaw in his as well, because he didn't provide a clear explanation of how the social media, or I guess electronic media, I should say, brings about change. So his idea was basically, changes in media communication come about, and the introduction of new electronic media, or media, changes sensory balance. And something I've been thinking a lot with, like, Instagram, like this idea that this new form of technology, this new social media platform has changed our sensory balance. It's changed what we take in. added new behaviors to society, to interactions, to how we talk to people. So the basic argument of Merowitz is that in many of the traditionally perceived differences among people of different social groups, different stages of socialization, and different levels of authority were supported by the division of people in very different experiential worlds. So he talks about how we move these if we're in this house and if we knock down the walls, we'll be able to see all the different roles that people play. We'll be able to see the teachers falling asleep. We'll be able to see the different things that are going on behind the stage. So these different forms of media have led to overlapping social fears, and they not only affect us through the content that's put out, but also by changing social geography. So Merowitz just argues that electronic media has undermined the traditional relationship between physical settings and social situations. So new behaviors would arise out of the introduction of new media, and so would a new social order. So that's kind of his idea in a nutshell, and I'm at 6 minutes and 30 seconds, so thanks for listening.